G'day guys and welcome back to Jiren's_gaming for another Dokkan Battle video. So for today's video here we're going to be going through the 3 easy A's that we know we're going to be getting in the next, on the 8th. Two really good easy A's and then we got TEQ Jiren, but thought it was a great time to go through their skills here. So we'll start off with the physical Golden Frieza and 17. So for their leader skill we get Universal Survival Saga Join Forces 4 key 160. Not too shabby. But nothing to write home about. For their super attack effect on their 12 key, we got massively raises attack for 1 turn, so 100% boost, which is pretty crazy. And then for their 18 key, we got the greatly raised attack and defense, causes mega colossal, and greatly lowers attack and defense. So really good SBR effect there. And to be honest, even a lot of this new difficult content can be lowered attack. So I think that's the 50% chance there, yeah, for 3 turns. So that's really impactful super attack effect there. For their passive, we get 177% attack and defense start of turn. You get key 7 and reduces damage by 50% for 1 turn. So on their first entry, you got that 50% damage reduction, gives them a bit of slot 1 usability, I guess. Still ideally a slot 2 or 3 unit, but definitely handy to have that. Launches 2 additional attacks, each of which has a high chance, so a 50% chance of becoming a super attack. Now that becomes impactful because they do have this 100% buff right here, so if you're firing off multiple supers, I feel like that's going to build up really quickly. Launches an additional super attack and great chance of performing a critical hit when HP is 77% or less. That's going to be a bit tossy and turny. I feel like you're not all too often under that HP bar. We've got the key 1 plus, key plus 1 up to 7, and an additional attack and defense plus 11% up to 77% with each attack performed. Again, a lot of that's going to come from the passive additionals that we just read about there, plus an additional 1 key up to 5, and attack and defense 20% up to 100% with each attack performed. Which each super attack performs. So 2 separate buffs there. So whether you're getting the additionals or the supers, you're still going to be getting some form of improvement there, which is good. And so much key. Like these guys are going to be rocking at 24 keys so easily. Chance of performing a crit plus 17% and reduces damage by 17% within the same turn with each attack performed. So does that proc with each attack performed? So I wonder if, adding that on top, if you get four attacks and you got that 50% damage reduction, they have 98% damage reduction turn 1. That is pretty mental. These guys, I have heard Truth say the same thing, but they really are just a wall in slot 2 or 3 once they've got their attacks off. They're just all but impossible to damage. So they're going to be a phenomenal easy A to run on the TEQ Goku team. For their active skill, it's key 7 and defense 77% and performs crits for 1 turn. So the reason the crits are huge is because you're doing so many attacks there, and that can be activated after performing 4 or more supers in battle. So if you did get really lucky, that could be turn 3, turn 4, which is pretty insane. In terms of our teams, though, Universal Survival Saga, Reps of 7, Join Forces, Battle of Wits, Battle of Fate, Tournament participants. So not a crazy amount of teams, but they do have no restriction in their passive skills. So if you wanted to bring them on something like Battle Wits, you easily could, and they'll work crazily effectively. As I said, this would have to be one of the better slot 3 floaters in the game because you just know you're secured to not die with them. So really top tier easy A for the Frieza and 17 there. So we also have the INT 17 Universe 7. Their leader skill becomes Reps of 7 4 key 170, which is a real leader skill. For their 12 key super, they massively raise attack again, so just like the Golden Frieza and 17. But what we also get is the colossal damage and raises allies attack and defense by 30% for 1 turn. So support class supers attacks, we love that. And it gets even better here because for their 18 key, they cause mega colossal, raise allies' attack and defense by 30%, and chance of performing a crit by 7% for 2 turns. So the first super attack effect may not be as relevant because this is going to be a slot 2 or 3 unit, but the 18 key super is going to be awesome for giving you a massive boost to your second rotation. So it's essentially like running a support class unit when you are bringing these guys, and you'll see that they are a support class unit. But anyway, you get what I mean. So they're passive, they get 177% attack and defense, key +1 up to 5, and reduces damage received by 7% up to 35%, and chance of performing a crit +7% up to 35% per reps of Universe 7 category ally on the team. So if you've got the 5 Universal Survival Saga units on the team, bang, you're capped out with 5 key, 35% damage reduction, and 35% crit. On TEQ Goku's team, that is going to be so easy. And then the last 2 units, you could bring Physical Gogeta and STR Beast or something like that. Like, the team building with this guy is really going to smack. So on top of that, you get an additional 77% attack and defense, an additional damage reduction of 17%, and an additional chance of performing a crit +17% when there are 5 or more reps of Universe 7, which, as I mentioned, you're definitely going to be wanting to get the 5 with these guys. Randomly changes key spheres of a certain type, not INT, to rainbow key spheres when HP is 77% or less. As I said with Golden Frieza, that's not going to be the most common condition to fulfill in the world. But will definitely be handy when it pops. We love our orb changes on this channel. An additional 77% attack and defense when key is 17 or more. They're a tournament power unit. You're going to find that that's really, really easy. Plus, with all the key in their passive from earlier, plus an additional 77% attack and defense, and launches an additional super when key is 22 or more, which again I feel is going to be pretty easy because especially this. They get an additional 3 key per rainbow key sphere obtained. So it's going to be any rainbow key sphere there, you get a couple of them, bang, this guy's maxed out. And that becomes even more impactful because they give key +1 and 7% attack and defense for all allies, apart from themselves, plus an additional chance performing crit +7% per rainbow key sphere obtained. So if you can get 3 rainbow key spheres with this guy, they're going to be providing 3 key and 21% attack and defense support, as well as their super attack support as well. So these guys are like a must run, even just as a floater on this Reps of Universe 7 team. So they also have an active where they greatly raise attack, which would be the oh no, that doesn't really give us a number, does it? But anyway, causes ultimate damage, all allies key 7, which was always the way. So 24 keys guaranteed. That can be activated facing one enemy whose HP is 50% or less if there are 5 or more Reps of Universe 7 on the team. Yeah, need 2 of them on the same turn. But that's going to be so common with this guy that I think that's a really easy condition to fulfill there. Teams, reps, Universal Survival Saga Joint Force Tournament participants, you're going to only be running them with other Reps of Universe 7 units anyway, so I don't think their teams are an issue. They have a specific role on the team. I'm really looking forward to this EZA on the TEQ UI team. Combine in the domain from TEQ UI, and this unit is going to go crazy. So the final EZA is the TEQ Jiren, and sort of we've left the worst for last here, but anyway, we'll go through his kit. So his leader skill becomes Universe 11, Universal Survival Saga 3 key 170. For his super attack, he greatly raises attack and defense for 1 turn, causes colossal damage and greatly lowers defense. For his 18 key, he massively raises attack and defense, causes mega colossal and massively lowers defense with a high chance of stunning the enemy. We have got difficult content where the lowering of defense can be valuable as well as the stunning. But yeah, the massively raises attack and defense for 1 turn is good. So he gets attack and defense plus 300% straight off the bat, which is obviously a pretty big number. Reduces damage received by 30% for 1 turn. So he does have 1 turn of damage reduction. Gains an additional attack and defense plus 100% in guards or attacks if HP is 40% or more from the start of turn. If HP, so guard is a valuable ability. If HP is 80% or less at the start of turn, starting from the 5th turn from the character's entry, or if HP is 40% or less at start of turn, he gains an additional 200% attack and defense. Now, from what I've seen from the showcases of him on JP, it looks like that attack and defense of 200% makes him much more viable, but still, yeah, just having guard doesn't seem to carry this guy's defense as much as like the first 2 units that we've gone through here who have really, really good defense. But anyways, key plus 3 with each attack received up to 11, so at least that makes it really easy to get to 24 key. Launches additional super from the turn in which the character, so when he gets his 3rd attack in battle, attacks effective against all types, performs a crit when the enemy is in attack down status, in defense down status, or stunned. Not the easiest, but at least we do have options for that in a lot of difficult content now. Disables the attacked enemy's action once when he hits 24 key. So I feel like to make him better, if they had have just left that there, that would have been huge, instead of making that 1 turn. But anyway, is what it is. So he's got an active skill. He gives 30% attack and defense. All allies attack and defense all enemies, is then lowered by 30% and stuns all enemies for 1 turn. That can be activated after he receives 5 or more turns in battle. So, bit of an interesting one because that is sort of more of a Super Battle Road effect. But with how quickly we get through Super Battle Road, like this guy's not really going to be able to receive 5, 5 attacks. So, bit interesting there. He does have a number of teams. When AGL Jiren does drop, he does get a good friend there, and he certainly does help bring out a lot of the power of AGL Jiren. Physical Topo's another unit that we'll be awaiting. But anyways, that's TEQ Jiren. Let me know below which of the 3 Easy A's you're most excited for. For some reason, I really love this unit. So I'm really excited to throw them on a TEQ UI team. But as I said, let me know which one's going to be your favourite. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to keep up with the content. And hopefully I'll catch you all on the next video.